Do you remember the first time that you fell in love? I remember the first time that I fell in love. I was all for her. I was writing poems. I was spending all kind of time thinking about, man, I can't wait for this weekend to end because when Monday comes back around, I can't wait to see her and say absolutely nothing because I was just so in love. I remember also, too, when that love turned to heartbreak. It's funny because I see the same bitterness that I had in my eyes, the same anger, the same ill will of how dare you break my heart. I see that same bitterness within a lot of hip hop artists today. Not so much on a commercial level, but really, I guess what you would consider the underground, or you would consider more the conscious rappers. I see a lot of bitterness in their tone. And to me, it sounds like a man scorn. It sounds like somebody who had their heart broken. Look at me in my eyes. Let's have a real conversation. Did you fall in love with hip hop? And did she break your heart? Did she grow up and started kicking around other people that you don't necessarily agree with? Be honest with me. I feel that's the issue with a lot of artists. They came up on artists like the RZA or Redman and Nas, and these are all legends. And they fell in love with hip hop and said, one day I'm going to contribute my voice to this genre called hip hop. Then they got their chance. And then they fell in love again. But then as time went on, they started seeing that, wait a minute, she's not looking the same. She's growing up. She's kicking it with these guys over here. She's moving over to the south. She's moving over to the north or the east or the west. She's not sounding the same. And I think that it makes you get so angry sometimes as a fan or an artist. I think that some of you guys, you don't even see your own contradiction. Because it's crazy how now I hear all these complaints about how mainstream hip hop it's monotonous. It's talking about sex, money, and violence. And this is true. But on the flip side of that, you have artists nowadays that are in the confines of the underground and they make a living. Every song. I got an album one time, every single song was about other rappers. It was complaints about how the radio was garbage. And they use such bitter language like garbage and trash. And they have these extremes where something can only be amazing as the golden age or it can just be trash. There's no in between. And we know that life is not all about extremes. And I think there's a contradiction because the same way you complain about these commercial artists who are monotonous in their content, well, if you're only talking about other rappers, what do you call that? Is that not monotony? Really sit there and think. Am I somebody who is contributing original thoughts? Am I somebody that's actually giving creativity? Because it takes a lot more energy and a lot more creativity to come up with the original ideas as opposed to complaining. Did you have your heart broken? Be real with me. This has been your dose of Curtspiration. If your heart has been broken, it's time to start mending those pieces. Stop complaining. Because like I always say, you can't be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com.
I can't listen to you.
When I listen to you, it's a liability. Cause you be mentally killing my inner energy, so I'm considering